Epic Universe finally launched their brand new fireworks show, the Celestial Goodnight, after over a year of fans asking for it. Hello everybody, welcome. With only a few weeks under its belt, reviews are in and it seems fans universally agree that it might already be time for a new show. I was there on opening day of Epic Universe last year, and it was nothing short of phenomenal. However, I will never forget the fact that they had all these special festivities, special fireworks, this big splash for a VIP event the day before opening day, and then absolutely nothing for the people on opening day. Don't get me wrong, that day was still absolutely amazing. Though I had already been to previews and experienced the park previously, opening day was just unmatched when it came to energy and emotion of being there. The buzz was palpable in the air. I mean, you really could feel it. Everyone who was there was a fan. There wasn't anybody that was going there that was skeptical. No one was going there on opening day that was seeking to bash the park. We were all just excited to finally be there after years of anticipation and build up. Being in the park was just enough. But in the following weeks and months after opening day, a lot of conversation, a lot of people were asking, what about fireworks? What's going on with the fireworks shows? After all, we had all been anticipating a big finale to the evening at Epic Universe. They had it during the VIP event. They had talked about fireworks. We had seen fireworks testing. What was going on with the fireworks? Instead, we got a beautiful water show at the Cosmos Fountains, but there was no fireworks. And one of the biggest reasons people were building up this expectation of fireworks at Epic Universe is because you can't have fireworks over at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure and City Walk. There is basically a city ordinance where they're located. They can't have real fireworks. They can have pyrotechnics and sort of these like small fireworks, like flares and things, but they couldn't really do like a real fireworks show on the level of what you see over at Walt Disney World. Disney is absolutely the king of fireworks. I mean, you have fantastic shows like Happily Ever After. You had Wishes back in the day, and then things like Illuminations over at Epcot that have combination of water, projections, lasers, and fireworks. When you've had such an epic day at a theme park, capping that evening off with a grand spectacle fireworks show has sort of become like an expectation. And I'm gonna be totally honest, a water show, just a simple water show, just that ain't it. That just isn't getting it done. Can we just all admit it watching this video that water shows are just okay? Nothing wrong with them. They're great, they're fine, but overall, they're just okay. I've seen what people consider to be the best water shows in the world. I've been to the Bellagio fountains, seen other fountain shows. I've seen the best when it comes to a water show, and they just don't stand up to a spectacular fireworks performance. Now, when I first heard that the Epic Universe water show was going to be designed by Wet Design, I kind of knew what I was in for, as they had also done the water show out front of the Bellagio in Las Vegas, which is a great water show. It's not bad, it's just not a finale. It's something that you kind of walk by. You may even go walk over to the Bellagio and wait a few minutes for the show to start, but it's not necessarily like a finale to the evening. These water shows are beautiful, they're great, they're nice to look at, and they add a lot of great kinetic energy to the space that they're in. But the best water shows incorporate other elements beyond just lights and fountains. You look at something like Fantasmic over at Hollywood Studios and Walt Disney World, they have projections, water, but they also have things like basically a show on stage. They've got pyrotechnics. They've got a lot of different things to offer. SeaWorld does a water show that also has fireworks and lots of projections. Epcot's Illuminations is a good example. It's got water, fountains, it's got centerpieces out in the lagoon, lasers, fireworks, the whole 9 yards. So they did the big fireworks over at Epic Universe once. We know they can be done. So what was going on? Why not again? There were lots of rumors that surfaced at the time talking about the fireworks only being for the VIP event, talking about how that fireworks show ended up ruining the fountain. Things, maybe, I don't know, particles and things fell into the fountain, caused lots of issues. It was a temporary setup, lots of different rumors going around as to why they weren't bringing fireworks nightly to Epic Universe. But we all knew they were coming at some point, and we finally got them this year, July 7, 2026, not more than a few weeks ago. They finally debuted Universal's Celestial Goodnight. And it was a very similar show to the Cosmos Fountain Water Show that we had already gotten for over a year, but with the addition of fireworks and some projections. And right away, it was not hard to start immediately drawing comparisons between Universal Celestial Goodnight and Sensational, a symphonic spectacular over at Universal Studios. I was there during the debut of Sensation, standing right next to the director of the show. This was the person responsible for bringing this entire thing to life. And I was blown away at this debut. I mean, literally goosebumps on my arms during this beautiful spectacular that was happening before me. The energy in the crowd was electric. You could see the pride on the director's face as this thing was ending and people were experiencing it and the crowd reaction. I immediately turned, gave him a high five, and just told him how amazing the show was. They absolutely knocked it out of the park, despite the fact that they didn't have real quote-unquote fireworks. This is a water show with pyrotechnics, projections, and drones. So now let's talk about Celestial Goodnight. When it debuted, it was good. Seeing real fireworks at Universal, I was basically like, finally we get real fireworks over here. Water fountains are great. Projections were a nice addition. But overall, it just felt okay. It felt good, but it wasn't anything that was blowing your hair back. It wasn't anything that you walked away with and were like, wow, that was an amazing experience. And this has been pretty much the reaction from anybody that I've talked to about their experience with Celestial Goodnight. It's pretty much been the same kind of story. It was good, but nothing like hugely, like no wow factor. And I think what people have been wanting and expecting from this fireworks show was a wow moment, was basically a wow experience. This is the culmination of waiting 6 years now for this full-on fireworks to be displayed at a Universal park, and waiting 6 years for this epic universe to be built and then the fireworks show to finally launch. And instead, they got what some people refer to as more of a sleepy lullaby. If Universal was going for, that was nice, what a great way to cap off the evening, then they nailed it. If they wanted, wow, that was spectacular, I would come back just for that show, then not so much. That's what Disney has with Happily Ever After over at Magic Kingdom. People wait hours for a good spot to watch that show. And when people come to Magic Kingdom and come to Disney, Happily Ever After is part of their plan. Now, I'm just gonna say it, and you may not agree with me, and that's okay, but Sensational is better than Celestial Goodnight. It's just better. And I think Universal knows this. And I think they have some plans for possibly changing that. But first, let's compare Celestial Goodnight to Sensational. On paper, the description for Celestial Goodnight states, "This is a breathtaking new finale filled with music, fireworks, and more. Celebrate your day at Universal Epic Universe with a dazzling new finale of music, color, and light. It's a nightly spectacular featuring glittering fireworks and fountains that dance from one end of the park to the other, all choreographed to sweeping music that brings to life the excitement of each of the park's 5 amazing worlds." Sounds good. But now let's look at Sensational on paper. Sensational, a symphonic spectacular. Movie music comes alive in cinematic splendor. Be swept away on a cinematic journey for your senses with stirring film scores and dancing fountains. Relive your favorite movie moments through powerful soundtracks that evoke mystery and magic of Harry Potter, the pulse-pounding excitement of Jurassic World, and the gripping suspense of Jaws. Just on paper alone, Sensational already wins. Already has more energy, more excitement, more buzz. On paper, it sounds better. One is a tuck you in bed goodnight, like you just sipped on a little warm milk and it's time to hit the hay. The other is a symphony of the senses, pulse-pounding entertainment meant to inspire and excite you. When we look at a comparison of the runtime and the features, Sensational is 22 minutes in length, 228 fountains, projection mapping on buildings, heavy pyrotechnics, light fireworks, and 600 plus drones. Celestial Goodnight, on the other hand, is 10 minutes in length, 350 fountains, features architectural lighting, and a fireworks finale. Once again, just on paper, looking at what's in the show, I gotta say, Sensational wins. And then if we look at the concept art, looking at Celestial Goodnight, looks nice. You see Helios Grand, you see some of the lighting that's built into Epic Universe. It just looks like a nice fireworks show. When you look at Sensational, on the other hand, you've got all these iconic IPs in there. You've got the T-Rex, you've got Harry Potter, you've got throwbacks to classic music, you've got all sorts of a spectrum of lighting and water spouts just shooting up into the sky. Overall, gonna say it again, Sensational, visually from a concept art perspective, is gonna win this one. And here's the thing, Epic Universe is supposed to be the crowned jewel of the Universal Orlando Resort. It's basically the Magic Kingdom over at Disney. This Epic Universe is their Magic Kingdom. And we all know that it's not Magic Kingdom. And we all know it's not their Magic Kingdom even yet. They still need some more rides. They need to improve some of the capacity. I'd have to say, if there was a crown jewel of the Universal Orlando Resort right now, it's actually Islands of Adventure, not Epic Universe. But they're not done with Epic Universe yet. I think it will get there eventually as they continue to grow, continue to expand, continue to lean in and add more fantastic things. They are definitely not done. Now let's take a look at this video. Does anybody remember this video when it first dropped? There were people staying at Helios Grand at the time, and there was some testing that was going on in the evening hours with this really cool looking like Phoenix type effect creature. Basically the Cosmos fountains were basically shooting all this mist, forming like a dome in the middle of this fountain, and they were projecting these three-dimensional looking creatures and things into the fountain. And there was this flapping sort of what I would just refer to as like a flying phoenix. Maybe this is Fox from the Harry Potter series, or maybe this is some sort of flaming dragon. I can't really tell. Maybe it's a Pokemon, but it is this three-dimensional creature and it looks absolutely amazing. Like, I thought, man, this is insane. I cannot wait to see this thing. And then to this point here, I mean, it's been months and months and months. Where's it at? No one's seen it again. It's disappeared. There's been no word about it. We haven't heard anything. Clearly, Universal was doing something with that, and they had a plan for it. What's interesting now is that as of June 4th of this year, Universal just was granted a patent for a system and method for cloud projection. This is a sophisticated imaging system that enables them to essentially detect where there is a cloud or where there is some sort of mist or reflectable entity in the sky that they could potentially project something on. Basically, this is an advanced version of the two-dimensional projection that we see today in a lot of different things, like Universal Sensational, where they're projecting these flat images onto these water screens. You see it over in Fantasmic, where they're doing the same thing. Could this patent have anything to do with this sort of Phoenix-looking projection? Could they have taken a step back and said, this is great, but we think we can make it better, now we're going to do something different, and they have a new way of doing that? Or were they in fact actually doing this, and that's what that was? I have no idea. But this sounds like it could be a patent for something related to fireworks, and that they're planning something bigger and better to be added to their Celestial Goodnight. It would definitely add something that I feel like is missing right now. You look at Sensational over at Universal Studios or Happily Ever After, and they have these visual elements that are designed for you to look at them during the show. Yes, you have fireworks that draw your attention and all sorts of things happening, but you have different things that you can kind of look at throughout the show, and they're complementary to the fireworks. And they really help evoke like an emotion along with the music, because you're seeing something, you're hearing music, and you're connecting those dots, so you have like iconic moments from films that you had an emotional connection with. You see that in Sensational, Jurassic Park, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, etc. This really adds a lot. They do the same thing over at Disney. And interestingly enough, Disney, as of just August 20th of this year, just a little over 2 months since Universal was granted their patent, now also interestingly has a very similar patent. And theirs is called the opportunistic projection onto dynamic light reflective material, covering things like smoke, fog, mist, low-lying clouds, and firework even residue. And in their visuals for this patent, they have things like Chernobog being shown here. You've got Madame Leota and a few other things. So you could clearly see how this could work into something like a happily ever after or fireworks show, or maybe even Villains Land, as we're thinking about what's going to be happening in Villains Land, and in order to add a level of, darkness and mysteriousness and palpable energy in Villains Land. You think about it at nighttime, maybe they have a lot of mist machines running, and maybe there are fog machines running over top of Villains Land to give it this large sort of like air to it. They could be projecting something like a Chernobog up in the sky, almost at an ongoing basis. So I think the battle to use this technology between these two theme park giants in things like fireworks or in their lands, I think this battle is heating up. I think Universal has much more up their sleeve with regards to fireworks and basically stepping up their game. I think they know that Celestial Goodnight needs something more. It's a good show, but I believe it's already time for something else. We need to really amp it up and bring more energy to it, make it more of that like punch in the gut finale moment at the end of the night versus this sort of like sleepy lullaby. More visuals, more energy, and more finale, and more importantly, more wow factor. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. I am excited for it. I can't wait to see what's next for all these theme parks. What do you think? Are you a big fan of Celestial Goodnight? Or are you one of the people that's in the same camp of it's nice, but it doesn't have the wow factor? Sensational is actually better overall. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. What are your thoughts? And once again, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, share this content. Till I see you next time, the noble way is the easy way. Bye-bye, everybody.